And we're going to have to get into how we first met.
Yep.
Was it Tinder?
Fuck you. Now, Tinder wasn't out yet, bro.
Yeah.
Tinder is how we found people. Grindr is how you find people, by the way.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the coastline of Connecticut and welcome to the Shorecast with your host, Apathy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shorecast. I am Apathy. This is my co-host, Al Mayo, in the building. And today we have a special guest, my brother, my partner in rhyme, the motherfucking granddaddy grenade man, self-titled, in the building.
You heard.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Yo, you're a fucking asshole wearing all this superstar shit right there. I didn't know we were going to do that.
Well, because this is a special event.
It is a special event, but I didn't know that because I feel like I would have at least I would have worn my fucking sunglasses.
I had to get it how I live. So.
That's a fact, bro. When does self-titled not get it how he lives?
You like it, I love it.
I can't afford that gear. I'll just wear what I'm wearing.
All right.
Yo, I love having you here. Out of every human being on earth, me and you have the illest history.
For sure.
Undisputed.
There's no doubt about it.
We have lifetimes of memories and experiences that we lived that could like be several people's lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, man.
For sure.
So we're going to get into it. Anchors up. Here we go. Welcome to the Shorecast. Yo, one thing I think that we need to start doing, we're going to do this in installments, man, because we're not going to be able to talk about everything on one show.
It's too much.
Right, so we're going to do 3 episodes, and so you guys are going to see the self-titled volumes 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to have to get into how we first met.
Yep.
Let's start at the beginning. That's what we got to do.
You want to do that? All right.
Yeah, you got to come a little closer to the mic.
All right.
Was it Tinder?
Fuck you. Now, Tinder wasn't out yet, bro. Pause, motherfucker.
Literally, this is like before AOL IM.
Right, yeah.
This is before all that.
So also, Tinder is how we found people. Grindr is how you find people, by the way.
Oh, shit. Right. Oh, man.
All right, anyway. I remember how we met. We met
on the phone.
Right, we met on the phone. So let's talk about that. Just introductions, like about how we
late
we
90s
first knew each other.
Right.
That was, what year was it? Was it 98?
1997.
Oh shit! Are you sure?
I'm sure.
What? So 98.
I'm positive because listen, it was right before the Jedi Mind Trick joint.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought we had met after the Jedi Mind Trick Psychosocial came out.
In my memory, it was before it came out. But I got the record like right after I talked to you on the phone.
Yeah.
I got the record and I was like, oh, this is my dude that I'm talking to on the phone. Yeah.
Okay.
All
So it's around that time, but
it's
we
97.
All right. It's
in my mind.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Think about it like this though. 97, Eternia was still living with me. Okay. Yeah. Me and Open Mike, this is before we did the Boombox from the Boondocks radio show. You remember I had that shit?
I know you had that.
Because that was 1998. Right? Okay. So it was around that, it was before that time period? Mm-hmm. All right, that's crazy then.
I feel like it was right at the cusp of that.
Okay. So I got to tell everybody too, if you guys haven't noticed visually, I'm doing this show with a fucking tooth infection. So when you guys see me and I'm talking, or if you see me visually, I have a fucking infected root canal. I don't recommend root canals for motherfucking anybody. So anyway, I'm going to be thugging it out through these shows with an infected fucking face. So that's what we're doing. So back to this though. There was an underground group called Live Poets.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there is a rapper who's part of that group named Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Soul had beef with Company Flow back in the day, and it wasn't good on his end. It didn't come out good for Soul.
No, but he would listen, and I don't mean to use the word on the cusp. I've already used that once, but he was on the cusp of like the whole beginning of the internet, and
right.
This is when it was like AOL message board. Like this is before anything. There was no websites. There was no hip hop site. Actually, there was
No,
Sandbox.
there was Sandbox,
Right.
and there also wasn't there 88 Hip Hop?
And 88 Hip Hop.
88 Hip
Because
Hop.
Big
right.
L was on 88 Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And Big L passed away in 98.
Right.
So those are
So
the
this-
forums, the online forums back then,
Yeah,
right?
this was
Right.
like
Yeah.
this was the birth of like hip hop with the internet.
Yeah.
Which was half dorky but half good too, because
Yeah.
a lot of people were getting introduced. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were getting put onto stuff, and a lot of connections were being
Yeah.
made, like dope connections. And come to find out, like years later, producers and MCs who everybody respects, they were on those fucking message boards. They were up there with a different username and shit. You know?
I mean, well, on a side note, you know, my group Equilibrium that I started with,
Yeah.
we did a joint with Vex from the Boogie Monsters, and that
Right.
was based off an AOL chat room.
That's
We
dope.
connected with him through an AOL chat room, so
That's
that's what's
fire.
crazy about that.
That's fire. So anyway, Soul was cool with me. I don't even remember how I met Soul, but Soul hit me one
From
day
the Live Poets.
from the Live Poets. Soul hit me one day and goes, "Yo, I got to introduce you to this guy, Celph Title from Florida." Right, and I was like, "All right, bet." So Celph and I get on the phone.
The phone rings one day, I pick it up.
Yep.
It's Soul, and he's like, "Yo, what up?" And he's like, "I got somebody on the phone you want to link with." And it was Apathy, the alien tongue.
Alien tongue days, bro. Yo, and those were the fucking days where I was more than happy to rhyme for somebody like 75 verses
Oh, for sure.
in a day. Like
For sure.
I was nuts with it back then. All I wanted was everybody around the world to know how fucking
You were
nasty
the
I was.
nicest fucking rapper on the planet.
I got to get a video of this too, and I don't know if we can do it, Brandon, without. I kind of want to blur out people's numbers and shit, but I got to show you like the way that we connected. There was no fucking iPhones. There was no like contacts and shit back in the day. So the way that we would connect is like we always had a backpack, we had a notebook, and I would have this fucking notebook, and we would meet. I'd be like, "Oh, yo, all right, bet. All right, here we go. Fucking Al Mayo, boom, 718, 364 423. Don't dial that number. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I would put that shit on there like that, or he would put that on there, and I would have Al's connect, and then I would holler at Al. We would link up. But there's so many rappers who I met. That was our preferred method of communication back then, like how we got in touch with contacts.
And the craziest thing is, at the time that this was happening, at the time that we connected, was at the same time I was making a connection with Bronx Science Records.
Right.
So I was in, for everyone that don't know the history, I was in Tampa, Florida at the time.
Yep.
You were in Connecticut at the time.
Yep.
We linked up. And at the same time, I was getting a job in New York City
Right.
at Bronx Science Records.
Right. On the 1990 Now album, Celph addresses the whole story on a song called An American Adventure, Celph Travels North. So that's fire. You guys got to check that out. What's that song called?
It's called If I Could Write a Rhyme.
Right.
With the Sadat sample.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Which you gave me.
That's right.
He
That's
put
right.
me up. You had a beat with that sample.
I had a beat that I made at Brandon's house before Brandon was alive in Mike's basement.
Shout out to Brandon, man.
Shout out to Brandon. So here's the thing I forgot to tell people.
You got it. Hip hop history.
You reminded me this morning. I forgot to tell people out there. I keep talking about Young LaRose and I keep talking about Brandon.
You say Young LaRose, but
Most of you have already seen Brandon's face when he was a little boy because Brandon was in the fucking Stop What You're Doing video. You know what I'm saying? Brandon,
as a little boy.
do you remember what your face paint was? A tiger. Brandon was the tiger. So you got
We threw a real kids party.
put that up on the screen, Brandon. So we
threw a real kids party for that.
we'll come back to the intro.
All right.
Let's just talk about that since
All right,
so we don't lose shit. Okay.
Right, for sure.
When we did the Stop What You're Doing video, first of all, it was a dream come true for both of us because
doubt.
we just worked with DJ Premier.
No doubt.
Right? The thing that I made the mistake of was, because when we were coming up, we had to tell people what we wanted so that there was no mistake in it. So I would overcompensate. I would tell somebody, yo, I want you to use this sample and this drum. So when we linked up with Premier, and Premier was excited to work, and I was fucking mind blown about working with Premier, I tried to be like, yo, can you use these drums and this and that? He's like, all right. I don't really work like that, but I'm down to try it. Because Premier just does what the fuck Premier does. So I gave Premier drums. It didn't end up working out. He sent me something. He's like, nah, this ain't it. I'm like, yeah, that ain't it. And so I said, yo, you know what? Hands off. Just do what the fuck you do. I want something to rock a crowd. I just want like a hardcore, something like never before. He goes, all right, I got you. And then the next thing he sends me, stop what you're doing beat. Let's keep it all the way funky too. You were not a fan of this beat.
I had to record to a different beat.
So do you remember what beat you recorded to?
It was a Premiere beat, but I don't remember which one.
Yeah, you weren't, it wasn't your I loved the beat because I thought it sounded like some hard to earn crazy stuff. And I respect that. It wasn't
no doubt.
your style.
And here's the thing, like the one thing people need to know about App and Celph is we bump heads, but we always at the end of the day trust each other's vision. So
absolutely.
So I was like, I trust, if you think this is the shit, let's do it.
Right.
But
I saw the vision in the beat. And I knew it was going to be a crowd rocker. And it was also the first time Premiere used Big Beat.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. And also Premiere went on an interview to say, I'm like the only artist he's ever allowed to mix.
Yeah, you mix it.
I mixed the record, right? Mm-hmm. And then I told Premiere, I said, yo, I remember I prefaced it to Preem too. I said, yo, I got an idea for the hook. I've been saving this for a really long time, bro. Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorite lines in hip hop. And he's like, all right, let's hear it. What is it? And I was like, the first line of Digital Underground, Humpty Dance. Mm-hmm. And I expected him to laugh and he goes, all right, that's dope. And I was like, word? And he said, yeah, that's dope. And then all right, stop what you're doing. Cause I always had that in my head. First of all, I love that song. Almost, that's one of my top favorite hip hop songs. And Preem killed it. So he sent it. So anyway, fast forward to us doing this video. Celph comes up and we start planning this. And then shout out to our brother, Nick Heller, a.k.a. NYC Nico.
Sure.
Ricky Shabazz and the Boom Bap Boys.
Who's done blown up since. Yeah.
Blown the fuck up with his NYC Nico joint, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Nick Heller. I got so many fun memories with him too, man. But we started brainstorming on how to do this video and what we were going to do, and we just wanted to do some weird shit, man.
It's crazy that Young LaRose was a part of that.
Young LaRose was in the video, man. Young LaRose was in the video.
He's the one grabbing the cake.
Right. And there was a little boy in that who was, at the time, his parents didn't know. Nobody knew. Mm-hmm. He was like diabetic and he was eating cake and he was spinning out and having a really bad
I don't
day.
remember that.
And they just thought one of the little boys, I don't want to put nobody on blast. The parents didn't know yet. Wow. They didn't end up finding it out till after, and everybody felt guilty because everybody's like, oh my God, we're just letting him fucking wild out on cake and cookies. But we threw that fucking birthday party because you said some people were asking if that was a real party.
Yeah, no, like, so years after this, this chick I know was like, did y'all really crash a little kid's party? And I'm like, no.
How could we have done that?
We funded the party.
Right.
We said, let's make a real party for the kids. But they were in on it. They knew that we were coming to crash it.
The face painter Jade, she like came down from Rhode Island. Like we really assembled a fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine putting that much effort into a video nowadays. God bless anybody who does. Good for you. But we did so much fucking shit for that video. From the boat to those girls who were in the video.
Oh, yeah, the boat.
Yeah, the boat scene.
We actually were out on a boat.
Yeah, we were out on a boat, and then the fucking...
Boats and hoes?
Yeah. Boats and hoes, right. Before boats and hoes, I think. I don't know. But anyway, and then fucking the scene with the skater kids, there was a lot of fucking production value in that shit. But anyway, all that was to say that you guys got to peep Young LaRose's cameo, which he's already put on the screen at this point. But that was a great time, man. And it's so funny because the nurse at my doctor's office, who I just saw like a couple days ago, her son was one of the other kids too, the redhead kid. Yeah, the redhead kid. He was in that too. So shout out to Missy and Kevin for allowing me to have their son up in there. What's crazy is they're grown now.
No,
bro.
I know, but
they're fucking adults.
Listen, I asked him about that, and he was like, "I thought it was a real party."
Because you don't remember. How the fuck would you know? What were you? How old were you then? 4 years old, 4 or 5, maybe.
He was the one who grabbed a piece of cake. That shot where he
Right. There was another funny shot too. Like he flinched at the balloon, or was that another kid?
I don't know.
Did you fucking flinch,
I flinched
bro?
at the balloon.
Oh, you did, yeah. What? That's a different kid. Okay. What?
Fuck that kid.
What? Fuck that. No, don't say that. We're cool with everybody. We're cool with everybody. What year was that, Celph? 10?
2011.
2011. Okay. Stop What You're Doing was magical. And then you remember, once again, there's more to that video. Because we filmed with Preem in the old headquarters.
That's right.
Yeah.
You did all your shots with the suit.
Right. With the suit. And Preem was in there. Preem was like, yo, I don't even smoke cigarettes no more, but I'll do it.
He did the cigar joint.
He did a cigarette.
Yeah.
Wow, he did
a cigarette. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because we're trying to make it look like Rod Serling, like the Twilight Zone.
Man, and that made that video legendary, man.
Yeah, man. That was incredible.
I'm so proud of that, man.
Working with DJ Premier is the biggest honor. And becoming friends with Premier is the biggest honor. In my opinion, I think that DJ Premier is the greatest hip-hop producer of all time.
100%.
Right? So Premier has reinvented himself so many different times, right? From Hard to Earn, from Daily Operation, from all that. Premier has reinvented himself over and over again. He went from sampling really obscure stuff to, they had the jazzy sound, which was newer back in those days because everybody was sampling funk and soul. So Preem went to jazz. Then people started getting into the jazz. So Preem goes, fuck this, I'm out. Preem goes to sampling weirder shit on Hard to Earn, like some really obscure, strange shit, right?
Classical, everything.
Then Preem completely fucking flips the script and starts the chop style, which not a lot of people were doing. I mean, I'm not going to act like.
But after he did it, how many biters were there?
It was unfucking real, bro. We couldn't get beat tapes ever without it being Premier bites.
Like, this is a Premier bite.
Boom, 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 bam, 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 all these different things. And then I'll tell you what else is the biggest dick riding of all time that has ever happened in hip hop, or just bite, was when people cut up the multiple lines. In my opinion, I only like to hear Premier do that. Represent.
Because he did it right.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But with all that being said, there's so many producers who I love, who I think are amazing, but DJ Premier has the crown for the greatest producer of all time in hip hop history. That's how I feel. 100%. But anyway, back to, and what's funny is back to us, our origin.
Let's do it.
I think one of the reasons Soul linked us up was because I really needed a producer. I didn't have beats.
Right. This is at a time when production, you either had to have equipment,
right?
Or there was no Fruity Loops.
Yep.
Let this be clear. This was a time when if you made beats, you either had physical equipment or you had some kind of weird software or whatever. But there was no universal program that everybody.
You had to have an ASR 10. You had to have an MPC.
This was like where if you were gonna book studio time, you had your shit together.
Right. At that time, you didn't even have an MPC yet.
I was making beats on the computer. On a 1993 Tower laptop. I mean, not laptop, but desktop.
And that was a lower bit rate at that time too.
Yeah. But what's crazy, what was dope about it, it sounded like SP12.
Right, and all the beats. And some of those beats that you sent me on those, because
one of those beats ended up being All About Crime.
Correct. That's what I was going to bring up, right?
Yeah, I sent you a cassette tape.
Right.
With beats made from this old program on a PC computer without Windows.
Conquistador Productions. I still remember the blank tape.
Conquistador Productions. On a computer running MS-DOS. I didn't even run, maybe it run Windows 3.1.
Yep. Right.
But the software I used ran in DOS, MS-DOS.
That's fucking crazy.
So we sound like fucking dinosaurs to everybody right now. But yeah, MS-DOS was the operating system at that time.
That's wild. Pre-Windows.
But whatever it was about that software, it emulated the SP1200 sound.
Right, that low bit rate.
So all those beat tapes I sent you, you're like, yo, this sounds ill.
We got All About Crime. Now, make no mistake about it, though. All About Crime, the demo version was on that tape, but then years later, you had
I redid it, yeah.
Right. Did you resample it? Or
where I got the sample from, the sample was on the left side of the speaker. It was one of those ones where it was like, those old records where it was like left and right side was different.
Right.
And for All About Crime, it was on like one of the left side of the channel.
Right. And that was dope. So we took that, Celph remade that, and that was one of those ones I didn't want to let go because I had that for years and years before.
Because you got to understand, that was like 1997 that I probably sent you that beat tape. And Eastern Philosophy didn't come out till 2006.
Right. So it was 9 years. It was 9 fucking years. Do you remember there was a version with Lewis Logic on it?
Oh, yes. I still have it.
I had different verses, right?
Yeah.
That's
It
crazy.
was supposed to be a single with you and Lewis Logic.
That's crazy. I got to hear that. Maybe we'll leak that.
I still have it.
Let's leak that. Let's
I
leak
have
that
it.
to the public,
Yeah.
man.
Shout out to Lewis Logic.
Shout out to Lewis Logic,
Yeah.
man.
But I still have that.
Lewis Logic and I had problems for a while. And it doesn't matter what
It
it was about.
unwarranted, in my opinion.
Well,
To a degree. To a degree.
sure, it was. But it was just how I felt at the time
Yeah.
as a stupid young man,
No
right?
doubt.
And
by the way, Lewis Logic is the nicest guy in the world.
that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah, okay.
So we reconnected at that show in New York.
In like 2019.
Yeah, and it was beautiful, man. It was great.
Shout
it was
out
great.
to Lewis Logic. We love you, brother.
Love you, Lou. Lou. It was so great to see Lou, and we connected as dads and grown men.
for sure.
It was a beautiful moment. It was really dope, you know. And
He's a great guy.
yeah, super great guy. But Lewis was pivotal in us forming the original Demigodz that everybody knows, right?
Because at that time, he had star power.
He did.
You got to understand, in the underground, a lot of the people that we connected with, we had star power.
El Fudge.
El Fudge,
Yep.
Esoteric,
Right. Esoteric.
you know what I'm saying?
All of us we came together as a super group.
Yeah.
In a super crew at that time. And that was a really dope thing. So when we started doing those records, man, those records already had some weight to the name there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, and Lewis and JJ Brown, they were making classic shit at that
For sure.
time.
Shout out
period.
JJ Brown.
So
Indeed.
when was the first time you and I met?
It was right when I moved to New York City. Because because we started talking right, and so this is the thing. We connected, and then I connected with Dave.
Right. Dave from Bronx Science Records.
Listen, there's a lot of people may not know, but there's a big, so in the indie boom, the vinyl hip hop indie boom, there was like only a few distributors. There was Landspeed. There was
Landspeed is now Traffic, by the way.
right. It's now Traffic. There was Buzz Distribution. There was Fat Beats. And I got a job at Buzz Distribution
You were in Florida.
at the time. Yeah.
How did you get that job?
I connected with Dave. He was the owner of the company, and I connected with him, and he was like, "Look, I want you to be my field guy, like in the terms of like finding all these like underground hip hop records and get the contact info over to them so they could buy the records and distribute them."
Yeah, but how the fuck did you meet Dave? This was like the internet. Did you meet Dave on the internet? Pause.
I met him through
Tinder.
Listen, my man DJ Cramtronics.
Okay, shout out to Cramtronics.
Yeah, you know
bro.
Cramtronics.
Yep.
So this is my dog from Tampa. So we used to have a local hip hop magazine in Tampa. Now, mind you, I'm not talking shit about Tampa. I'm just saying, like, as far as underground East Coast boom bap hip hop, in Tampa it really wasn't a thing, but there was still heads in Tampa, right?
Right.
So I linked up with another head, DJ Cramtronics from Tampa, and he used to work for this magazine called The Hive magazine.
The Hive.
Shout out my man Uncle Shredded Wheat,
Okay.
used to run this magazine. And Buzz Distribution used to buy ads in this magazine. And his connection was Tariq. You know Tariq.
Oh, Tariq. Shout out Tariq.
Shout out
man.
Tariq
Yeah.
Nelson.
I think Tariq still got those old battle videos of me that are missing.
He does. But
Tariq, where's my fucking battle videos at, man? I need those VHS tapes.
much love to Tariq. But
Hell yeah.
I got connected through that magazine. My man Cram was like, yo, this dude Celph, he's off the chain. Like, he's like a fucking scientist.
He's doing
with
his
this.
thing.
For sure. And I got tight with one of the owners of the company.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave Wallace.
Yeah.
So the company was owned by two guys, Dave Wallace
And Livio G.
and Livio G.
And Livio G is a legendary New York hip hop with P Fine.
Right.
They had a radio show, a legendary New York radio. And also, Livio G is responsible for your man Chip Fu.
Fushnikins for
Yes.
Ring the Alarm, right? Producer. So Livio G's a hip hop legend.
For sure.
And Livio was a fucking asshole sometimes.
For sure. But he was way older than us.
No, he was
He was like twice our age.
Yeah, I had a lot of good memories with Livio too.
No, I love Livio.
Livio was
Shout
more
out Livio.
stern and shout out Livio. I love Livio. But Livio could be an asshole, and that's some New Yorker shit. That's
It
just the way he was.
a New York attitude.
Right. And but Dave was fucking hilarious.
Oh,
bro.
Dave was a wild motherfucker, man. for
Dave
sure.
was one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my
But
life.
here's the thing I gotta say about that. These guys, so I worked for them remotely. Since I was in touch with all that stuff, like how we were connected and everything, they weren't so much, they were an independent vinyl hip hop distributor. But they weren't as in touch with everybody. They were just a corporation. So
Right.
people came to them or whatever. But I was more of like the real, like on the ground,
the A&R.
polying with everybody, and I would bring records to them and say, yo, you need to buy these records or whatever.
Right.
And I was sending them, this is how old this is. I was sending them fax machine. I was sending them reports on a fax machine.
God damn, bro.
And at one point he was like, look, and he knew I wanted to move to New York and pursue my dream. One day he called Dave Wallace. Shout out Dave Wallace. I love you, motherfucker.
Love Dave Wallace, man.
Yeah, listen, he called me on the phone one day and he was like, hi, you want to live in New York? You want to come up here and work for my company? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then
one
that was
thing
it. You
came
made
to
the move.
another. I moved to New York. That's how we met. But I started out being basically an A&R.
Right. You were bringing all that music.
I was
to
an
the
A&R on the indie hip hop level.
Real quick,
this
what was
company.
Dave's huge dog he had? Rocco? Was that
Rockland.
Rockland. Yeah.
Rockland.
Dave had this huge dog. It was
Big-
like waist high, bro.
And yo, people would get shook. People would
Yeah.
come up because my desk was right by the door where you
Yeah.
buzz people in.
Yeah.
And they would see that dog, they would get shook.
Yeah, there was a window on the door, and then like dudes would come up, and it was funny because you see all these hood dudes come up,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, "Yeah,"
They
they're
have
coming up to
issues
the
with
label.
dogs. They thought they
and all
was
of a sudden,
hard.
Zoom, Rockland would come up on the door, and they're
And
like,
mind
"Oh
you,
shit,
this was like
yo,
the
put that
softest.
dog away."
This was the softest dog. Like
Yeah.
you could be like, oh, Rockland, what up?
He was like the dog on Sesame Street. You know what I'm saying? With that motherfucker's name, Barkley. Barkley.
Yeah,
Barkley.
Barkley.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Do you remember?
What?
When Dave? All right, hold on. Let me paint this. All right. Every day, Dave. What ethnicity is Dave? Is he?
He's a Jew.
But he looks like Latino or something, right? I'm not bugging.
He's what you would call, as far as a white person, you would call him a swarthy.
A swarthy. Is
Have you ever heard
wild,
of a
bro.
swarthy white person?
No. I don't know what
no.
that
So a
What
is.
does that
swarthy
mean?
white person has like a swarthy complexion. They're like,
Okay. So here's my
Pastel?
point. So
Olive
hold on. Here's my point.
complexion? An
Picture
olive
this. Picture
complexion?
this.
Okay.
Hold on.
He's a Jew. He's
Okay,
a Jew.
so he's
I mean that in no fucked up way. He was a Jew white boy.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
So wait. So let me say this. Okay. So Dave was this guy who would dress business casual.
Yeah.
Right. He would have like dressy kind of shoes on sometimes. Maybe you wear some jeans. Maybe you wear like a
Yeah.
dressy sweater. One day Dave comes into the studio with a do-rag on.
Yes.
Do-rag Dave.
Yes. I remember that.
You remember this? Or you don't remember it?
No,
but
he don't remember.
But and the funniest part was he had the do-rag. He had the back down.
He was early level trolling.
Yeah.
So like we would have like hood ass dudes come through to play beats or play records.
Right.
A&R to come to Tariq. Shout out Tariq Nelson.
Yep.
For
And
sure.
Dave would have like a dressy sweater on and jeans and dress shoes
And one
on.
day he tied a do-rag on.
And then somebody would come in the office, and we were there for this. Somebody came in the office and they're like, "Yeah, what up?" And Dave was like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah.
Just get like a little dead
but
straight on his face.
They thought he was official.
Right. They thought it was real. They thought it was real.
And real talk, the reason I learned the word swarthy, Tariq taught me that.
A word Tariq
was
taught
like,
you,
he's
swarthy?
a swarthy white guy.
Is that a wild thing to say?
I don't
Swarthy.
know.
What's swarthy?
Have you ever heard it?
I know he's gonna be canceled tomorrow. Hey, don't come after me, guys. I don't know what the fuck he's talking
Self
about.
said Jew 17 times already.
Yeah. That don't reflect on me, guys.
It's
Oh,
all good. Hey,
man.
I love Jews.
I
love
don't know what the
Jews.
fuck
It's
he's
all
talking
good.
about.
What?
Okay.
Oh, what is it?
Swarthy.
All right. Swarthy.
Having a dark complexion
Yeah.
or color.
Yeah.
Being of a dark hue or dusky complexion.
Exactly. So this is who we're describing.
So he's a dusky motherfucker.
This was a white guy that ran this record label, but yeah, he had a dark complexion, bald head, but he was a Jew.
Yeah.
And that is swarthy.
Yeah, he looked Latino. But it was
some people thought he was Puerto Rican.
Hilarious.
Some people thought he was Puerto Rican.
Right, he could have passed as Puerto Rican.
He was ethnic looking.
He was Puerto Rican presenting.
For sure.
So Dave was fucking hilarious, bro.
Shout out to Dave, man. We love you, man.
Right. And so that whole office, and then so I want to shout out somebody else in that Bronx Science office.
Okay.
Our motherfucking brother Flav.
Oh, Flav. Listen.
Flav's one of the most important people in our career.
My first day on the job at that record company, Flav was the first one that reached out to me and was like, yo, I know you just moved up here. You're new to New York. Anything you need, this is my number. Holler at me. Like Flav was the first person to show me love.
Tell me I'm wrong. Flav is the top 3 realest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
For sure.
Ever met in my life.
For sure.
Like easily.
And he's from the fucking trenches.
Right.
So then who's number 2? Because I'm number 1.
Damn.
Yeah. But
Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, for sure. He was the first person, my first day on the job. He was the first one to show me love.
Where's he at nowadays?
He's chilling, bro.
He's 50 Cent tour manager.
Oh, yeah?
New Kids on the Block tour manager.
Dope.
Naughty by Nature
tour manager. You know, Flav is that guy, man. Flav is him.
Yeah.
You know.
Dope.
And just best dude fucking ever in a million years. And Flav was to the point too where Flav would be making all these big moves over the years, and then we'd be like, yo, we got a show in LA that's gonna be a dope show. Flav would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fly out for that with y'all. I'll fly out there and stay with Ryu, you know? Mm-hmm. So Flav is on that level. Flav is Demigodz to the core by default.
Sure. And he reps it.
Yeah, absolutely. All day long. And still to this day, Flav always tries to include me in everything. Flav will call me and be like, yo, I'm working with Ace Boogie with the Hoodie app. You need to make these beats and send me these beats tomorrow. And so Flav hits me regularly. He checks in with me and hits me all the time. And just the definition of realness. But Flav used to work there. And we just had so many memories, man. A lot of the early records for the fans out there, a lot of the early records that we recorded as Demigodz, like All of the Gods Must Be Crazy, we recorded in that office, in the Bronx Science office.
Yeah, for everyone that doesn't know, this was an office. This was literally like, a block from Times Square, right?
Right, yep.
This was at between 44th Street and 45th Street on 9th Avenue.
Right, that's right.
Times Square is 7th Avenue.
42nd.
Right, it's right there.
42nd Street, all that.
So there was a lot going on.
This office was, and check this out.
Walking distance, right?
Check this out. The same building that we were in, if you went to 45th Street and took a left, that was Daddy's house studios.
Oh, Puff Daddy shit? Oh, okay, right. Yo, you know what's a dope
episode.
memory? I remember so many artists used to come up there, bro. Everybody. Remember we had a big freestyle session with Paula Perry.
Paula Perry, yeah, for sure.
What was her man's name?
Q45. Q45.
Q. It was Q.
Q45. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He had caught a body. That's what he was notorious for.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
That's real life.
Yeah.
But I loved chilling with Paula Perry.
Yeah.
Who else would come up to the Bud's office?
Everyone from Master Ace, King's son.
King's son?
Yeah. I saw King's son knock somebody out downstairs at front of the building.
What was it about?
Some dude was like harassing a female.
Yeah. Oh, he wouldn't let it go.
He was like, yo, show some respect for this female or whatever. And he mouthed off. Me and Nesto and I think Guttermouth. We were downstairs.
King's son's tall as fuck, right? Taller
like I said,
us.
me and you, we some 6'1", 6'2".
No, I'm 6'3". We're 6'2", 6'3".
We're like, oh yeah, right. So this dude is like 6'5".
Oh, okay.
Knocking people out. He knocked some dude out right in front of the Bud's building.
God
for
damn.
Disrespecting some random female.
I would drive down from Connecticut to New York to stay at Celph's crib, and then we would go record all these songs in the Bronx Science office.
Like a couple blocks away from this record label.
Do you know what one of my favorite things was about going to the fucking Bronx Science office on the way in between your house and the Bronx Science office?
What?
The chicken spot.
The chicken spot. That was at like 42nd Street.
What were they, like Peruvian or some shit? I don't know what the fuck
they were. Definitely Mexican, South American.
Yeah, but
yeah,
these.
and they're soft. They had like a rotisserie chicken.
Yep.
Like a char grilled chicken.
We would get half a chicken.
With a hot sauce. Shit was amazing.
Yeah.
Remember I remember when Vinny and Stoop came to have a meeting with Chuck Wilson.
Yep.
And we took them to the chicken spot.
right.
I remember eating that shit with Stoop.
Yeah, us and Paz and Stoop, we were all up in the chicken spot. We brought a lot of people through to that chicken spot.
No doubt. But yeah, a lot of people came through that Bud's office. Like I said, Master Ace, King's Son, Dougie Fresh.
I remember us getting really experimental with the music and making all those skits and shit, like when we did the Chrome Depot. No, not the Chrome Depot. The Dr. Dre skit.
Yep.
That's what got me signed.
And
that's what got us to LA.
That's what caught the attention of Interscope. Yep.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
You guys have history in hip hop.
Yep.
I collect hip hop and I like to preserve it. Did you preserve your own hip hop history? Like, were you
Some
getting
of it.
things?
Some of it.
And from
He's
other
better
artists?
he's better at it than I am.
Some of it, yeah, but we were bad about it to a degree because we were just like,
we took it for
you
granted.
got to realize, we're up in it and we're like, it's only going to get better from here.
Right.
So we were like, it's cool. You know, I got this joint or whatever. I met so-and-so and he gave me, like, you got to understand, like, there's albums and vinyl and CDs that I have that the artist gave me at the time. And I'm just like, cool. I throw it in my collection. I didn't think of getting an autograph or nothing, but it was a piece of hip hop history.
And it still is, but do you think back to it now and think, damn.
I regret not.
Everything.
I regret not taking more serious about it.
Bro, we've probably, with the shit we've lost over the years, is tens of thousands of dollars
for sure.
worth of fucking things.
For sure.
Things that should be hung up, preserved.
Right.
Because you got to understand, not just who was coming through that Bud's office, but like I said, that was at the corner of, that was between 44th and 45th Street on 9th Avenue. Times Square was one block over. And Daddy's House Studios was on 45th Street between 9th and 10th Avenue. So me just going to get lunch every day at my job, I would see P. Diddy. I would see Busta Rhymes. I would see
just out there.
Shine.
It's crazy. And
I would see.
They were filming TRL at there too, right?
So,
right around
so
the corner.
check this out. Me, shout out to Nesto, shout out to Marksman. We would go, there was a Popeyes in Times Square. So sometimes we would treat ourselves to White Castle, Popeyes if we wanted to eat bad. And there was a Popeyes and a White Castle in Times Square. And on our way to Popeyes in Times Square, we had to walk through TRL.
Yes, correct.
So at lunchtime,
Yep.
we're just going to get our lunch at our 9-to-5 job.
And who'd you run into?
And we'd be like, oh, there's Justin Timberlake
Up in the
there
window. I
at
remember
the
those
fucking
days.
fans
Yeah,
going crazy.
yeah.
And we going to get some motherfucking Popeyes.
Yo, you know what's
I
some
never
funny?
forgot that back then.
You know some funny memories of your house that I have?
Yeah.
There's a few things, all right? I'll talk about the dumb shit first, then the hip-hop shit first.
Okay.
A couple things about his place, right, is one thing. I don't know why the fuck you did this. You had a TV hooked up with a contraption.
Well, because this was...
Was this for free HBO?
No, this was just because circumstances of time. Like this was old TVs that still had
expensive.
the push button.
Yeah. Oh, right. The tube ones where you turn the TV on and it'll go boom.
So it was an era where like you had a cable box that had the remote. Like I had Time Warner cable in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And I had the remote control to change the cable channels.
Yeah.
But to turn the TV on and the volume, there was no control for that. So I rigged a little piece of metal with a screw, and if you pulled the wire
from his bed,
it would press the piece of metal and press. It was a Sony Trinitron.
Oh, hilarious.
A Sony Trinitron.
The good
and when
thing,
And when you press the it was one of those hard clicks. And when you pulled the wire, I rigged it so when you pulled the wire, it pressed the button in.
Wait, don't say nothing. Listen,
all right.
It would go like this. It would go bump.
Yeah,
that's what it would do.
And he would be. Listen, I had a studio apartment in Manhattan. I'm in my bed. He's got like a blow up bed on the floor.
Right.
And I would be like, all right, I'm going to sleep. And I would pass him the wire. Yeah. And the wire would be the control to turn. So like, all right, I'm going to sleep. You watch TV. When you're done watching TV, pull the wire and it'll click the button and turn the TV.
It was like,
on.
because it was just such humble beginnings of him having a one-room fucking apartment, it was like the ultimate like paying your dues.
Yeah, and it was dead in the center of fucking Manhattan.
Right, dead in the Hell's Kitchen. It was right in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, it was in Hell's Kitchen.
Another funny thing that happened, we were recording the SmackDown And do you remember this? That C. Ray's Walls thought, whose Averex jacket was it? Was it yours? Somebody had an Averex jacket there.
It might have been mine. Yeah.
He thought it was a cat sitting in the corner.
He thought I had a pet cat.
Yeah, so there was a Averex jacket in the corner, and C. Ray's Walls goes over and goes, "Hey, kitty, what's up, kitty?" And he goes to pet it, and he goes, "Oh, shit."
He petted the Averex.
And then he jumped back startled and goes, "Oh, shit, I thought that was a cat."
Yeah, we're like,
Funny.
nah, it's
Listen,
Averex.
when it comes to Averex, I've always wanted one. I could never afford
You
one.
never
back in the
had
day.
one?
They were like $600, right?
I don't know.
That blows my mind.
I had a Perry Ellis. I still own it to this day.
But Averex jacket was crazy to you? That was it?
They were the cool ones. Right? Everyone wanted one.
The Avies were off the hook.
They were like $600, and I wasn't willing to spend it.
Listen, I was too white for that shit. I never denied my whiteness. I couldn't be a white dude pulling up with an Averex
I wanted
jacket
Averex.
like that.
This shit was dope.
He's got Cuban in it. I didn't have no. I didn't have nothing.
It looked good on
It
us.
looks good on you.
They
Yeah.
still have them out now. I want to get one.
Oh, go
Eventually.
do it for the young Al.
Do it for the
you know?
culture.
The Averex ones are dope. I would wear it, man.
All right.
I certainly would.
The other what was the other funny story? Another funny story at your house was when Breeze Everflowing and the whole Stronghold. Shout out to the Stronghold. I love you guys.
Love y'all.
Poison Pen, love you, my brother. Breeze Everflowing goes, "Yo, App, call into Bobito's show, bro. He's gonna have you up on Bobito's show." And I'm like,
and mind you, they had all your peers, everybody you were down with.
Everybody
Wise Guy,
we were down
Gaston,
with. Yep.
Wordsworth,
Rise.
Punchline, Rise. Yeah.
Everybody would go
and
to
they were all
Bobito's
bigging you up.
right.
They were like, yo, the most insane rapper you need to hear.
Yeah, everybody was
Apathy,
bigging
the
me up.
Alien Tongue.
Everybody was bigging me up to Bob. And
he was playing SmackDown nonstop
right. So
on the radio at this time.
So everybody's bigging me up to Bobito. Breeze Everflowing tells me to call in. Bob plays my records sometimes. And so I call in, and Breeze picks up. He's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, yo, listen, you told me to call in, whatever. He goes, oh, yeah, hold on. Let me put Bob on the phone. So he puts Bob on the phone. Bobito goes, yo, what's up? I said, yo, it's Apathy. He goes, okay. And I was like, yo, man, I'm a big fan of yours. And I start out with a speech. I'm like, I'm a big fan of yours. I'd love to come on your show. It would mean the world to me. And he goes, nah, I'm all set, man. I'm good. And I was like, what? He's like, nah, I'm not really feeling your shit. He goes, I played a SmackDown, but I'm not really feeling your shit, bro.
He was like, I like your records.
And yo, I hung up the phone.
I've been
and
crying.
Celph was like, what'd he say? What'd he say? Because I was shell shocked, like my jaw's down. And Celph was like, what'd he say? I was like, yo, just Bobito just shit on me, bro.
I've been crying like, yeah, man.
It was so funny.
That is funny.
Yeah. Whatever though,
It's part of the journey.
Yeah, it's part of the journey, and it's a great story. And it's funny because Bob would play the SmackDown, but he probably just didn't fuck with my shit, my verse, or wasn't feeling my shit.
Not only did he play, he's played all your records.
I don't remember that. I don't think he played all.
No,
my
he
shit.
did.
Did he?
But the SmackDown, he would pretty much the CM Fam Lamb show or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Pretty much every night that started, he would set it off with SmackDown.
Well, there was a lot of good rappers on there. You had
No doubt.
Rise, you had you, C. Rays,
Yeah.
So he could have loved the beat. You know what I'm saying? Just
For
had
sure.
that beat at that time, but. That's crazy. I forget, man, until me and you really start to reminisce, I forget how much shit we were involved in.
Oh, yeah.
And how much we were around, bro.
For sure.
It really
At
fucks
like
my head up.
A pivotal time.
Yeah.
Who was your best artist that you've enjoyed working with?
Overall or at that time?
Overall, through your career, when you reflect on it, who do you think back to like, damn, I worked with that person?
Damn, probably
Mike Shinoda.
well, Mike Shinoda's the biggest one.
Yeah,
but man, I would listen, at this company that he's talking about, Buzz Distribution, Bronx Science, we had all these artists come through. So through that connection and me producing records, I've worked with Ice-T. I've worked with
King
Cool G
Son.
Rap. I've
Cool
worked
G
with
Rap.
King Son. I've worked with so many legendary people that it blows my mind. Like
Not even to mention your fucking 1990 Now album.
Oh, of course. But yeah, of course. I've worked with the whole Digging in the Crates crew, OC, Grand Pooba, Sadat X, Brand Nubian, everybody.
Buck Wild.
Great list.
of course.
Great history.
Shout out Buck Wild.
Yeah.
Great history. So who was your dream collab? Who would you love to work with if you could?
Overall?
Anybody.
Dead or alive? Or alive?
Dead or alive?
Big Pun,
That would have been the one.
100%.
How about alive?
Live?
J, Jiggity A, Jiggity Y, Jiggity Z.
Lord Finesse.
Ooh, okay,
That's dope.
okay.
That's a difficult one to pull off. Lord Finesse is a friend of ours, but Lord
No
Finesse,
doubt. But he's rare.
he's not coming out.
Like,
he's not coming to the studio
when
for just
when
anybody.
I did the 1999 album with Buck Wild, that was one of my main goals to get Lord. There's a posse cut I got with Sadat X, OC, you know what I'm saying, Diamond D, everybody from DITC, and I was like, Lord Finesse needs to finish this track off as the Lord, the God of DITC. And I still couldn't make it happen. And to this day, like Lord Finesse is the number one.
Finesse is a mega rarity, man. He's elite. Finesse is elite, and he deserves that respect. But he's
not
picky about
he's
what
not
he does.
producing right now?
He's producing. He
He produces. He's just very select. As far as rapping, he's very selective. So,
All right.
Yo, speaking of the whole DITC thing, before you and I were hanging out, that was one of the things that I wish you were around for. Was like the ciphers, like being in ciphers with Big L, being in all those 125th Street ciphers. I wish you were around for that.
I was in Florida at the time.
I know. But that was a crazy time period, man. But back to the Bronx Science shit. That set us off, though.
Yeah.
That changed our life, like hands down. Like that was everything. That was the line in the sand. Putting out those records and doing all that changed our life. And then let's talk about LA, man. Let's talk about when we went to LA.
Yeah.
So what happened was, like we talked about, we did the Demigodz, Gods Must Be Crazy EP, and that had an intro where we emulated
the Dr. Dre Chronic intro.
We recreated the Dr. Dre Chronic intro, and it caught the ears of intern Jason. At
Interscope, and he was like the #1 intern for Jimmy Iovine. He was like Jimmy Iovine right-hand man.
Right. And he played it for Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, who the fuck are these guys?
So one day I'm at the Bud's office, because our number was listed as the contact or whatever. I get a call and it's like, hey, this is Jason from Interscope Records. We like what you're doing.
That's crazy.
We want to fly you out. And
Right.
And it was all off that intro. Because he was like, Jimmy Iovine loved your intro, like tributing the Dr. Dre Chronic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then so we flew out there, man. I think did I go into this story before? I don't know if I did go into this story, but I will go into it again.
They flew us first class.
They flew us first class. Then we fucking land, and they gave us a company cell phone.
They put us at the Standard.
On Sunset Boulevard.
They gave us a whip.
They gave us per diem, and they also let us charge whatever you want to the room. We got haircuts. We got food,
drinks,
we got all that
everything. We went
shit.
to the bar, everything.
Drinks, all that shit.
Yep.
We put all that shit on the room. We racked up a fucking bill. They gave us a company cell phone because we didn't have a cell phone at the time.
No, this is early. This is the year 2002.
So you had Hollywood treatment.
Yeah.
We absolutely had the Hollywood
That's
treatment.
crazy. They gave us, was it a Suburban? What was it?
Yeah, it was a huge ass SUV, a huge fucking crazy SUV.
So we're whipping all around LA.
We didn't even know where the fuck we were going, bro. We might even not even have GPS. I don't know.
And this was our first time out there. Period. Anywhere West Coast.
So while we're out there, we're supposed to meet with Jimmy Iovine. And Jimmy Iovine ended up being at Eminem's Cleaning Out My Closet video. So while we're at Interscope Records, though, all the record labels have this large room. It's like a large library room of all the releases and all the CDs and vinyls and cassettes they own, right? So they'll have like massive amounts of stuff. They'll have like at Atlantic, they had like Led Zeppelin box sets and everything you could possibly think of. So we would go to those labels and we would just fill up a box. They'd be like, take whatever you want. And those were the days where you could sell a whole bunch of shit to pawn shops. So even shout out to my brother DJ Cheap Shot. Cheap Shot used to tell us that's how he would eat sometimes. He'd go up to these labels for like a little whatever, fill up a box and sell the CDs just to be able to eat.
Listen, you know what the illest stuff was? We ran into the dude from the Dr. Dre Fucking with Dre Day video.
The guy who played...
The dude who played Jerry Heller.
Right, Jerry Heller.
Worked at Interscope.
Yep.
We ran into him and we're like, yo, like you're the dude from the fucking
Was
video.
he the one that they killed in the video?
He's the one where he was like... with the infrared. When he came in, when Dr. Dre busted in the door with the infrared.
That's right.
He played Jerry Heller. We met that dude. He worked at the label. He just walked down the hallway and we're like, yo.
From the video.
What up?
It was the dude from the video.
Yeah, funny.
But it was dope. It was a really weird time. Do you remember who almost else was being signed or was signed at that time? Hot Carl.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Big up to our brother Jensen Carr. But Hot Carl was
That was Capitol Records.
Hot Carl was on Capitol? It was Interscope.
Hot Carl was being scoped by Capitol Records. But yeah, no, Interscope. You're right. No, you're right. Interscope.
We're there to meet with Jimmy Iovine
Right.
at Interscope Records. And Miles Lewis
Yeah.
from BMI.
From BMI, yeah.
Hooked us up with a meeting and said, yo, Mike Karen from Atlantic Records wants to have a meeting with you guys while you're out here. So we're like, fuck yeah, absolutely. We're at Interscope, now we're at Atlantic, let's go. So we go and meet with Mike Karen at Atlantic.
And I remember we sat down with him, and I remember I said this. I was like, listen, we're not no flashing, because at that time, Mike Karen was big on like one-hit wonders. Like he was like taking some, like, remember that dude that did the Jeffersons beat?
No.
What was it?
Moving on up.
Yeah. There was an artist he had from DC. It was we had like a lot of one-hit wonders. And I was like, my point was, I was like, look, we're not one-hit wonders.
Right.
We're not like these artists you're putting out. And it was like kind of like an insult to him, but he respected it.
Yeah.
When I said that.
Right. So we have this meeting with Mike, we talk, I think we played the records too, didn't we? Play the joints. And Mike wanted us to make a demo. So Mike was like, yo, I love what you guys are doing. You know, I'd love to do something or whatever. And then we leave the Atlantic office. I get back to the hotel. There's a voicemail for me at the hotel. And it's my mom. And so my mom's like, call me when you can. My point of contact at that point was my mom's number. I didn't have a cell phone, right? So I called my mom and I said, what happened? What's going on? She goes, some guy named Mike Karen from Atlantic Records called and said he wants to work with you guys. Am I remembering that right? He just said he wants to sign us, right?
What year was this?
Call him at least. 2002. Or did he say, no. Am I tripping? Did he say he just wants to meet with us again or call him or something?
I don't recollect that. I just recollect Interscope flew us out. We were supposed to have the meeting with Iovine. We went to Miles Lewis' office, and he was like, I'm going to hook you up with a meeting with Mike Karen.
Yep.
And we went to see Mike Karen based off Miles Lewis.
Right. I understand that. But I think the thing was, Mike, before he even said, yes, I'm going to sign you, was like, yo, we're interested in signing you guys. Yeah. You got to do some more records.
He basically it was like a demo deal.
Right. He gave us basically a demo deal. Yeah. That's right. That's what I remember.
And we did a demo.
So we went back home.
That was the assignment.
Right. We
went back to New York to my crib and we made a demo.
With Sound of the Clap.
And
I forget now. Sound of the Clap was on there.
Was definitely one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't Get You Out of My No. I got Under My Skin.
Under My Skin
was one. Mm-hmm. And so we made this demo and Mike was like, I don't remember how he told us, but Mike was like, I want to sign you and then sign me. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, and we'll have Celph appear on it and produce on it.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. And so Theo
he wanted a soloist.
Right. And my attorney at the time was Theo Settlemeyer, who
was the attorney for Eminem and 50 Cent at the time.
So we had Theo work that into the contract.
Yep.
We met with Craig Coleman, who's the president of Atlantic Records, was the president.
Remember, am I bugging? Did we like put our feet up on his desk and
No, we didn't do that. No, we were talking about that. We were joking about you know how like artists would jump on desks and do all that shit.
Did that.
No, we didn't do that. Okay,
it sounded like a good plan, but you didn't go through with it.
Yeah, we were talking about joking, like being that overly confident, you know, but we didn't end up doing that. Craig was cool as fuck too. Craig wasn't like, you know, he's a hip hop head.
Right.
So we chilled with Craig.
Yeah, because I remember he was impressed that we knew all about Big Beat Records because he was the head of Big Beat. Before he became the president of Atlantic overall, he was president of Big Beat with Artifacts and Nubian Crackers and all that.
Because little did Craig know, we fucking knew every stupid thing that was released.
No, and he respected that
in the world.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got signed. I got signed, did that deal, and the Atlantic thing just there was so much to that, man, that just never really came to fruition. And we didn't give a fuck. We just kept putting out we just kept putting out independent music.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it would have been better or worse had you met with Jimmy Iovine and signed with them?
Worse.
Why?
Because they had Eminem.
He would have shelved. I guarantee you he would have been shelved.
Yeah.
I had Eminem. They had Eminem at the time. And it just wouldn't have worked. They already had Hot Carl. They already had all this shit.
Yep.
Well, I feel silly.
And the only other
I've never heard of Hot Call.
well, because he never came out.
Yeah, Hot Car.
Okay.
This is our homie now.
Okay.
But I'm saying back then he was like in LA. He was like calling radio stations, rapping on the radio. Mac 10 wanted to sign him. Like he was like.
Do you remember there was a TV show called Boy Meets World?
Yes.
And there was a girl Topanga.
Yep.
That's
my
his wife
friend
now.
he married her.
Yeah.
That's who the guy is?
Hot Carl's his name is Jensen Karp, and he married Danielle Fishel.
And he was the original artist back then.
On
He was on
Interscope.
Interscope. Also Jurassic 5 and Planet Asia.
Right.
So we were looking at them as like they're our fellow underground. Okay, so Interscope is trying to do an underground hip hop thing. But really and truly, they were probably looking for the next big thing. They weren't looking for the next Jurassic
So they
5.
shelved him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know if Hot Carl had the records to support. I don't know. I don't remember what he was working on. It
It
matters
was just a local thing in LA. He was a local radio. Yeah.
Yeah. It matters if you had good records. But when I got signed to Atlantic, that was an interesting time because Atlantic was signing, which gave me the illusion that I'd be able to make that happen because they had signed Little Brother. They had signed Lupe Fiasco. Who else did they have? Little Brother, Lupe Fiasco.
I mean, then they had, the Trick Daddies and the
Trina,
Nappy
Roots. Nappy Roots was up there too. Oh, Saigon. They had Saigon too, right? So
Yeah, Mark Ronson.
Ja Rule. That Ja Rule.
Always
too.
on time, Ja Rule. That's the
Then they had Ja Rule, right?
Nah.
Interscope?
Yo,
Nah.
we're
they
gonna
didn't.
start up a drink challenge where every time Al Mayo says Ja Rule always on
Murder
time,
INC.
you got to take a drink, bro. Every time Al Mayo mentions fucking
I'm going to always mention Ja.
yo, even though none of that major label shit worked out, it was still good because tell me if I'm wrong. It definitely made people take us more seriously.
Oh, for sure.
Like just the idea that we got signed and we were in those realms.
All of our peers, like the other indie underground, I mean, they were all looking up to us. Like, wow,
A lot of them.
y'all
A
are
lot of
doing
them.
it.
Some people didn't care, but most
For
of
sure.
them. But then also just, other people who heard our names because, Atlantic was pumping, trying to put my name out there and get my name larger. So, that had a whole domino effect. Down to even, Shinoda knowing of us, also with our affiliation with Styles of Beyond.
Yeah.
But that helped a lot. It helped across the board. You remember what's a funny fucking thing? And I love telling the story now. Atlantic gave me permission to do an indie album. So we start recording Eastern Philosophy while I'm signed to Atlantic Records. Okay, so when Eastern Philosophy came out, if you own an original Eastern Philosophy CD, you'll see Atlantic Records on the back, right?
Right. It was on Baby Grand, but it said under exclusive license.
Right. It was like, so Baby Grand was licensing it. So we knew we wanted to put out a indie album, and I had permission to do that. So I was like, yo, let's shop it around. So we were going to start shopping it around. And I remember like thinking like, all right, back then I was like, I want like 30 grand, right? That's what I wanted to get at the time. 30 grand for a budget and just for me to have as money. So we start shopping it around. I think I was getting to the idea where I wanted to talk to Slug and, Rhyme Sayers and all that. I didn't even get to have that conversation because Chuck Wilson from Baby Grand was like, yo, I'm interested in putting out your album while you're on Atlantic. And I was like, all right, well, I'm also talking with other people, which I wasn't yet. I had planned to reach out to Slug and those guys. He's like, and I knew the number in my head. He's like, do you have a number? I said, yeah. And he's like, what is it? And I was like, I forget what I said. I said something higher.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't like this. Like I said, like 40 grand. He said, I'll give you 50 right now to take it off the table with everybody else.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's what it was. I wanted 30. When he hit me, I told him 40, and he said he'll give me 50 to take it off the table with anybody else.
And what's crazy is ultimately that album came out on the same day as Army of the Pharaoh's Torture Papers.
Yeah.
Our debut Army of the Pharaoh's album also.
So, and do you remember us doing the videos for that?
Yeah. Oh, was it the same day?
Yes.
We did the winter and also, what was it? Army of the Pharaoh's joint? Tear It Down.
That day was a quadruple fucking
Hey, remember
fuck
Chuck
off.
Wilson was like off in the distance and we were like, yo, Chuck, what up? Come chill. And he was like,
Yeah.
nah.
We were on tour with Fort Minor at that time.
That's right.
And I lived in Brooklyn, I think. I lived in Williamsburg.
We had an off day in the East Coast region, and that's how we were able to do that video.
Correct, because we were in the middle of a tour.
Yeah.
That's why Shinoda's in the video too.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. We were in the middle of a tour, and we knew that was our off day. I don't know if you remember this. It was the dead of winter. We filmed, the Apathy wintertime video. Blue Raspberry was there for that. Poison Pen was in that, obviously. We got up at like 7. We got on set at 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was fucking freezing.
Brick.
It was brick. And we rocked all day. Then we had to leave to go to the Army of the Pharaohs shoots.
Mm-hmm.
A couple blocks away, Busta Rhymes was doing a video shoot for, I don't remember what it was. Was it that Touch It Taste?
Yeah, it must have been that. It was 06, this was.
Okay, so whatever that was, Busta Rhymes was doing a video and someone got shot. Do you remember that? Because all the police presence that was around. Someone got shot and killed.
Busta Rhymes bodyguard.
Busta Rhymes' bodyguard got shot at the time?
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
Was that around the same time he caught a gun charge, Busta?
I don't think so. I don't think it had to do with that.
Okay, but it was around that same time period he caught a gun charge.
I don't even remember hearing that story. No, I don't remember that. But so we did that shoot and we shot all day long into fucking 1 in the morning.
Yeah, it went to way late at night.
Most horrific hell day ever. We had a fake snow machine to make the snow it was dope. I was really happy to do it. I was happy to do the wintertime video. But motherfucker, was that like absolute hell. It was
miserable. Sure.
It was a fucking miserable day. What were the Army of the Pharaohs records that we did?
We did the Tear It Down single.
Right.
Which we didn't rap on it.
Scraping you off the pavement. Yeah.
But everybody in AOTP was in that video.
Right. We just went for the cameo.
Uh-huh.
But that was a fucking hectic ass day. Mm-hmm. That was a crazy day. And then we went, and also, by the way, that was also Super Bowl.
Was it?
Yes, the Super Bowl was happening that day when we shot that shit.
Wow.
And then we had to go right back out on tour, like right away. We got our fucking asses kicked, and it was exhausting. Barely slept, and went right back out on tour.
That's
man.
crazy how that worked out, right?
Yeah.
Like we ended up our off day on the Fort Minor tour. Ended up working to where we did the Army of the Pharaohs and your video.
Yeah.
In New York City.
So I have a question.
Yep.
What was the first record you guys worked together on? In what year?
Compatible. It was Compatible was our demo. The song Compatible, 2000, 99.
We recorded it in 99, but it didn't come out till 2000, I think.
Right. So Compatible, when you hear the song digital, physical, spiritual,
and
mathematical.
That was just, we wanted to just upload that to the internet at the time.
We weren't even thinking about
didn't care. It was just a bonus track, like a little,
I remember being really bummed out about the cover that Mike made.
Yeah.
For Compatible. And I remember I ended up, and it's all good, it doesn't matter, but I remember just being like, God, man.
We just had to settle because I remember we were so hot to trot. Like, we need a record out. And so we couldn't sit there and waste time like, yo, we got to redo the art. No, it just had to come out how
it wasn't, at least it wasn't as bad as the cover for That Old Boom Bap.
With the velour suit. The velour photo shoot.
The fucking velour suit was horrific. I don't know whose idea.
I don't know. Livio thought that shit was fly.
Yeah, Livio was like, yo, we got a photo, what's it called? Yeah. A photo studio. Mm-hmm. They're just like, yeah, just chill. Just sit down and chill. Put these glasses on.
Yo, a lot of people don't know. Listen, that Bud's office was a wild place at a lot of times.
Yeah.
Especially with Livio G, Dave Wallace, these guys bumped heads. Like there was literal brawls in the office. Like this was like a Manhattan record label office, but there would be brawls, just would break out. So like I'd be like coming back from my lunch break and come in and like Livio would be looking at artwork and with an artist and be like, yo, this shit is hot. Then the other co-owner would come in, look at the artwork. They're all thinking it's hot. Dave would be like, this shit corny. Livio would be like, you corny. Dave would be like, you corny. Literal blows would break out. We had to break up fights. It was like a New York death row.
It was like a Wild West saloon. It was like a Wild West saloon.
There was physical fights up in
Death
there.
Row East Coast.
Those guys used to fight a lot, bro. It used to get crazy.
It's crazy that and they're cool to this day. But Livio had a scar on his cheek
From Dave, I remember this.
from them wrestling and going down onto the floor, and Livio caught the corner of a desk, and it almost blinded him, but it cut him right in the cheek, and he has a scar to this day from the corner of the desk right below his eye.
Those dudes are wild, bro.
Also, before all that, there was a wild crew from Jamaica, Queens called Dark Side
I remember that. I
that was
remember that.
signed, and they wouldn't let them out of the contract.
Yeah, I can relate to
They
that.
came up there with pistols, rope. They tied them up, and they got out their contract for sure. But it was pistol whipping and tying up motherfuckers, and yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
And that's what made them switch to having the room that buzz you in.
Oh, okay.
They moved to a different office to where it was more secure.
Is that the same? Did that Dark Side go on to do other records?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah. I think they were down with LB fam, Lost Boys.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they got out of the contract and then went down.
I'm saying like, yeah, they got out. They forced themselves out of this contract, and the label moved their office to a more secure location.
And they never blew up in that album or record?
Nah.
Yo, do you remember what Livio wanted to give me as payment for signing a full-length album?
Was it a car?
A Mazda Millennia, and the engine was shot. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna have my mechanic fix it." And you remember, at the time I was in dire need of a car. I didn't have a car.
Sure. But
I was a teenager.
The Millennia was a dope ride too.
What?
The Millennia was a dope ride.
We were children, man. So this was like, okay.
Yeah, well, I was, but I didn't end up taking that.
Yeah.
I remember it was like, no, I literally think I got an Acura, right? I got Mike's Acura.
Yeah, you took that check. It ended up, you got the check from Livio,
Right.
And bought the whip.
Bought the Acura Integra.
I think it was what, five racks?
Yeah,
5
it was
racks.
Right, it was like 5 racks for an album advance,
Yep.
and I never ended up doing that album. But you know, it was a funny session from that album when we were working on it. That is fucking everything about this is hilarious to me. Y'all ain't good enough.
Yeah, no doubt.
That was Kurt Cazal beat, right?
Kurt Cazal with Scoob Lover.
With Scoob on the hook. On the
Big
hook.
Scoob.
Yo, love you to death, Kurt Cazal, man. Incredible producer. Legendary.
And Big
Scoob, our brother.
Yeah, for
Johnny
sure.
Famous.
We have so many good memories.
What Johnny doing?
Yeah, Scoop Lover is now Johnny Famous, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
He was
correct.
Johnny Famous back then.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because he
Scoob-
had a record called Can Do with this was a time when the whole what was it? The show tunes
Yeah.
was hot with the
because of Hard Knock Life. Everybody started
Right.
doing that though.
45 King did Hard Knock Life, and then he also did Can Do.
We got the horse right here. His
And
name
that-
is Paul Revere.
Yeah, and Funkmaster Flex. I remember we were up in the office
Wow.
blowing it up with the bombs on it and everything, man. That was
Yo, if you guys hear the beginning of
just begun.
Just Begun, Funk Flex going, wow, wow.
Yeah.
That's from Scoob.
Yeah.
That's from Funk Flex playing Scoob's record, Johnny Famous record.
Yep.
On there. I love Scoob to death, man. I love seeing what Scoob does on social media always, you know.
Salute. He's a legend.
Yeah, Johnny, what Johnny doing? I love it. But so anyway, but I remember that fucking session where first of all, Scoob did it and Scoob dropped an M-bomb and I'm like, I'll get away with this?
Yeah.
Because he said it's my record, but he did the hook. So we decided, yeah, fuck it. Scoob, I remember Scoob being like, yo, ain't nobody saying shit to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like nobody
But
says it.
it ended up, when we actually released it, I said the hook.
Oh, word?
He's not on the hook.
I didn't,
On
I
the
don't-
real, it's the bootleg motherfuckers.
What happened to Scoob's verse?
I don't know what happened. Like I said his part,
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
and I say that part too.
He might chime in and tell her what happened with it. Maybe he knows. What happened with that, Johnny?
No, he doesn't know because
No?
he just recorded it. He had nothing to do with that part.
Yeah, we redid it.
He had nothing. He had nothing to do with it. But But do you remember the other fucking thing about that where Livio his mix?
Oh yeah,
Bro, so we do the song and the song sounds banging. Livio decides, and we're like, yo, we can mix it because we were really dope at mixing, right? We were good at mixing. All the records you hear that we've put out pretty much since those days ever, me and Celph. All of them. All of my more newer shit is all me. All the Celph shit is him. That's what we do. We fucking mix like nobody. However, Livio G, because Livio's older than us and Livio had experience in the music industry, Livio's like, yo, I'm going to mix this, bro. I'm going to have to give it a high-level professional mix. He took, this is a hip-hop beat, a Kurt Cazal beat, and he decided he wanted to do rock and roll style separation like the 1960s with a guitar panned 100% to the right.
Hard left.
Yeah. Another instrument panned 100% left.
Like this.
And it sounded like a fucking train wreck. It was a nightmare. And we were like, nah. We dug our heels in. We're like, it's not coming out like this, bro.
Damn.
And then it ended up getting shelved. And then that was basically right after that. Then you got the deal. And they had to sign off and all that. And then we put it out, a different version, just on the bootleg motherfucker.
And that deal was a lot of craziness to that deal, too.
Yeah.
That deal was bonkers. I almost didn't get that Atlantic deal. I don't want to go into details.
Nah, but
I won't go into details for the legalities, but that deal my Atlantic deal almost didn't happen, and the Bronx Science thing would have been a huge issue. Sure. I'll say that.
But to this day, it's all love. We love Livio.
Yeah, we love Livio and Dave.
We love
man.
Dave. Yeah.
Huge part of our history.
For sure. I love those guys to the death to this day.
I would love to see those guys, man. I got Dave on social media. I don't know where Livio's at.
I talked to Livio a while back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. But that was such a great fucking time, man. We had so much fun doing that. I feel like that's around the time. When do you think we really started to bust our ass in touring? Because we would do tours here and there. And like 2005, we did Australia, right? We toured with Fort Minor in Lincoln Park.
Right.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just me and you.
Well, here's the thing. Really, we didn't really dig into touring until way late, like 2011, 2012. Right. But you had done like a European tour in 2001 with J Live.
J Live, yep.
And then we did Australian tour in like 04.
And then 05. I did a little tour with Emilio Lopez and Motive. We did like, with the Snow Goons, with Manu, right. DJ Illegal. Shout out to the Snow Goons.
Shout out Illegal and Snow Goons. But yeah. And then I don't know what, we just was working on albums, and then eventually, 2011, 2012, we started doing Canada, Europe, Australia again.
Let's give them a great example, and this is for artists. This is a great lesson for you guys to learn, okay? We did a show in Saskatoon, Canada, okay? And we had never been to Canada before, right? That was our first Canadian show ever.
Yep.
So we go to this place, Saskatoon, and they offer us, for Apathy and Self-Titled total, $4,000, okay? So we make $4,000, which means Celph gets $2,000, I get $2,000, okay? We're happy.
Yeah, and at that time, yeah.
And they paid for our flights and all that shit,
right?
And hotel. So we do the show. We do it at this place, Odeon.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just remembered that right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, we do it at this place called the Odeon, which I don't think is there anymore. And there was probably like 800 or 900 people there for us. Clearly, easily. 800, 900 people.
It was a big venue and it was filled.
And we calculated the ticket price and we figured out, and I think it was like something like, what was it, $25 a fucking head? Mm-hmm. Does that sound right? Times, let's say
$20,000.
$21,250, right?
They made it come up. Now that's what a promoter's supposed to do.
Right. So $17,000 after they pay us, then you got to think that there's fees with they had to recoup for our flights, our hotels.
A rack.
Right. So okay, so let's say $1,000, right? Then they had to do our hotels, which what? Fucking
I'm saying a rack for the hotels.
Oh, okay. And then the venue, what would the venue cost them and all the things? Couple grand?
At the most, $2,000.
$2,000, okay. So Celph and I walked away with $2,000 each, and they walked away.
We sold some merch.
Yeah, we sold some merch. So we walked away with that. They walked away with like $14,250.
And that's not bad.
The problem with that is, what I'm telling you guys is, you got to have a back end deal in place. You say, okay, after we get up to a certain amount and you recoup, then we start splitting shit. So that way we get more
a kickback.
Yeah, we need a kickback, and we're entitled to it because they came to see us. They didn't come to see just because those people are throwing the show.
Right.
What is that? Like something like 500 tickets, and after that we split. Is it something
No,
like
recoupment, money-wise, monetary. Like, okay, how much did it cost you guys $3,000?
Yep.
So once we get to the $3,000 point and you get paid back for everything you've incurred, then we start splitting it 3 ways, right? Part, 1/3 goes to Celph, 1/3 goes to me, 1/3 goes to them. Boom, 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 across the board, or whatever.
And you would have gotten a third of 14 versus the 2,000.
It would have been very different.
Yeah.
Right. But we didn't know. We was early on.
It was brand new touring times.
Yeah, brand fucking new, and we didn't figure it out till we got home.
But here's the thing: we were just late to touring and doing. At that point, we were already on.
Right.
Like big time. Like
Yeah.
as far as indie hip hop or whatever,
We were known.
We were like a household name.
Because there were guys like Atmosphere and all these other guys
And Jedi Mind Tricks had already
Jedi Mind Tricks.
hit the tour circuit. And I remember Jan was telling me like, "Yo, what are y'all doing? Y'all not touring?" But we did. And I don't know why we didn't put.
We didn't know enough. We didn't know how to
Yeah.
do enough. We didn't know the right people. We didn't know people. We had a hard time getting a booking agent.
Yeah.
Those times were different. And Atmosphere and them, and I don't know what Jedi Mind Tricks did, but Atmosphere and them. So I remember Slug saying they would just get in the van. They would just try to go
Yep.
and make it happen while they were out there, which was incredible. And that's why they were so successful, because they made their shit based around being a touring group.
Yep.
And that blew up their fucking
built their fan base. Like our fan base could have been even bigger had we done that.
Yeah, our fan base could have been bigger than what it is now had we taken touring more seriously. And then we got into a really good groove with touring Canada. Once again, we did Europe. We did one-offs like Australia. That Australian show was crazy. I remember my voice. That was the first time I lost my voice. This was 2005. I remember the fucking show. I had on a army colored shirt, like an army green with Mike Tyson on it. And then I had a fucking Yankees hat that was army colored. But I remember us rocking, and I remember my voice was going out, and all of a sudden I'm rapping, and then it just goes, first time it just ever cut to nothing. Because, there were times where your voice goes out and you're still able to thug it out like this. It just went, blah, blah. I was like, oh, fuck. Luckily.
Hey, remember how crazy they were in the crowd, though? They were like, Australian crowds is wild. Like with the moshing and the...
Australian crowds
they were
are
like punching
feral.
motherfuckers in the face during our set.
Australian fans
Yeah.
are fucking feral, bro.
Like, no doubt about it.
They treated us like the Beatles, too. The Australians are hip-hop fanatics.
Dope.
And that was also the first time we saw a chinchilla, for real, a kangaroo.
Right.
We went to the zoo
Yep.
on the off days.
Oh, a fucking, yeah. And that dude Adam brought us.
Yep.
Adam
Shout
brought
out.
us to that
Yep.
zoo, bro. We saw kangaroos and shit.
And
It
chinchillas.
was bugged out.
Yeah.
We ate at Macca's, which
Yeah,
is
Macca's.
McDonald's. Macca's.
They call it Macca's.
And when you have lunch, they say tea. We're going to have tea at Macca's. Yeah, that's what they would say, man. It was funny, though. And so Australia was fucking dope. But anyway, when we got it down to a science was when we started doing Canada every year.
Yep.
And that was the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Early 2010s, yeah.
Right, there we go. And that was my favorite time of my entire career.
Yeah,
like
me
when
too.
when Celph and I were on the fucking road, and here's what we would do. Let's say we would fly out, we'd start out in Vancouver or Victoria, Vancouver Island, Victoria.
Okay.
We'd fly out there, rent a van right away, a little minivan, a Dodge Caravan, because it was cozy. You know what I'm saying? I remember my seat was always behind Enemy. Enemy would be in the driver's seat. I'd be sitting behind Enemy. We go right to the Walmart, cop a fucking towel, a pillow and a blanket and shit. You know what I'm saying? Be sitting there. You got the electrical plugs because you got a Dodge family Caravan. So we'd be plugging our chargers in, have our laptops out, just driving. We would get our merch. We get our merch pressed in Canada. So we saved on crazy shipping prices. Celph would send the designs over there to the Canadian people. They'd press up our merch there in the city. We go a day earlier, mostly it was Enemy and Celph doing it because I sucked at it, but they would roll up the shirts and organize the shirts. And we would get our whole van packed. And then was it right away that we started doing buy-ons?
We didn't learn that till a couple years in.
Okay.
Where we could get.
So that's when artists want to come with you guys, they
Yeah,
buy
like-
in?
It would be up and coming artists. They get a chance to be in front of our crowd.
Right.
And it would put them right in the spotlight. So that was, that's worth a certain amount of money. And they would pay per show or per tour to be with us, but that shit was so dope because they would help pay. It would like cover all our expenses.
Yeah, and we were never caking off it. It would just make sure
like
the
our
tour
van was
could
paid
function.
for, yeah,
you know,
and all that, yeah.
And the other dope thing is we made really good connections on those tours. Like think about people we met: Wildcard, Ender, Novator. Right? Wasn't Novator with us? But Little Vic is one of my best friends to this point, who's one of my favorite collaborators. Vic went on tour. We like made really strong bonds. There were some artists who would just go pay and they would like fuck around and they treated it like a vacation or just having to have fun.
Yeah.
I will say Wildcard was one of the best.
Yeah.
He would rock the show. He had really good stage presence and he would get the fans really fucking worked up. But it was a dope thing, man. It was a dope thing having those guys who came and opened up for us, you know?
What do you miss most about traveling and doing shows?
Yo, to be honest, it's not, and I don't know how anyone's gonna feel about this. It's whatever, right? I didn't love being on stage. I didn't love rocking like that. Matter of fact, a lot of times I felt imposter syndrome. I felt like this is so weird that these people want to fucking pay to watch me do this up here. I felt weird and uncomfortable, you know?
You feel like you undervalued the job? You undervalued your job, your position?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a weird thing. I don't know. It's fucking weird. I felt weird about it. I felt like I wasn't, you know. But my favorite thing was just us hanging out. It was the bonding that me, Celph, and Enemy did. We had the most fun.
Like the
it was the journey,
between,
not the destination.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like some of my fondest memories on tour, not just Canada, but Europe, USA,
right,
is the travel.
Yes.
And the days off.
The off days.
I don't give no
Yeah.
disrespect to fans or whatever, but like I don't give a fuck about the shows. Like I came to do my job.
Right.
I love the fans, whatever. We love rocking, whatever. But my fondest memories are the in between.
Yes.
And if they appreciate this, I like seeing where they come from. I like being at different places. I like that we saw Thunder Bay and Medicine Hat and Nelson and fucking Castlegar and, you know, all these weird fucking places, Victoria Island, Porto, Portugal. You know what I'm saying? Like I love what we saw. I love that we meet different people. We met really cool fucking fans, man. You know, but some people would take it the wrong way. Like you remember, the way I am when I tour, I don't want to go party with everybody. I'll be like, yo, what time do we go on? They'll be like midnight. I'll be like, how long does it take to get to the venue? They'll be like 15 minutes. I'll be like, pick me up at 11:40. You know what I'm saying? Am I right?
Right. Yeah, but I'd be there drinking early.
Yeah, because you had to drink.
Right.
I would just be like, I don't want to do shit. And then I'd be like, after I rock, what's the fastest way I can get back to the hotel? Like straight up. I didn't want to do shit.
But in those early days though, we used to get off stage and go to the merch table.
Oh my God. And what would happen every tour?
We got sick.
We got sick every fucking tour.
We had to cut that out.
Yeah.
And you know, we love interacting with the fans.
Seb, are we almost running out? 2 minutes left. Shout out to our brother Seb, who's here chilling with us right now.
What up? Seven hours.
So we would get sick though. That's part of the reason why we did the meet and greets and stop going out and stop interacting. Because
it wasn't that we thought we were like too good. It's just It's like, look, if we're gonna interact and be touching all the fans and whatever, we gotta be a little more cautious about it.
So do you see an outlook at the time that you're going to want to continue doing shows or not really?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like I went over a lot of the touring that we did on the last episode when I talked about touring with Fort Minor in Lincoln Park and all that. So I don't know that there's much to tell after that, right? I mean, we went and rocked. Like you know when we really busted our asses in Europe, like when we would have to do festivals, barely sleep, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, catch some fucking train to go to this place and do that. That used to kick my fucking ass physically.
Like odd food.
Yeah, odd food, like
odd food situations,
weird lunch meat sandwiches.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, but they don't put their refrigerators, their coolers. They don't make them. They make them like lukewarm.
Right. Yeah.
You go to like a 7. No, it's not 7-Eleven out there, but you go to like a convenience store in Europe, and for some reason they don't turn their. I guess they don't like their drinks that cold.
Well, do you remember how much of a hard time we had finding hotels with air conditioner too in Germany?
Yeah,
when we were with illegal.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. That was a really tough point, man. And then, you know, it was a dope memory though that we had with Illegal when we went to Spain.
Oh yeah, when we were like driving through, like, so it's one thing when you drive through the countryside in America, right?
Right.
You might see like an old farm, an old like farmhouse or something on the side of the road. Out there, when you drive through the highways or whatever, you see like old castles,
Yeah, yeah.
like ruins of like
Hundreds of
yeah.
years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the other thing too is we were at Malaga.
Malaga.
Okay. So and that was Andalusia, or no, it wasn't the same area. It's on the ocean.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. You guys will be able to
Southern
correct.
Spain.
Correct. Southern Spain, right across the water from Morocco and Africa.
Yep.
And it was, bro. Do you remember? We rented like a whole apartment.
Mm-hmm.
We rented a whole apartment for like 5 days for like $200.
And it was like paradise.
It was unbelievable. And then the food, we got so many groceries. Bro, we got groceries enough for a week and it was like $64.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking crazy.
That ain't happening today.
The price of living was so low there, it was unbelievable. It didn't even seem real.
Well, let me ask you guys this question, both of you.
Yep.
The best part of my journey is my interactions, meeting people. That is the most valuable part. You guys had an interaction that started in a phone call, and now you have history.
Right.
That's pretty valuable. What do you think about that? That your relationships between, isn't that pretty valuable of what you've gained in your time?
Yeah, but I feel like, and pardon me if I'm answering for us both, I mean, it's just we don't think about that because like we're just brothers now. Like we have a whole lifetime of shit with each other, you know, like being best friends, being business partners, fucking being there to hold each other down on the road. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's
like,
the most amazing part. You had a relationship that started with the phone call, and here you are 26 years later.
Right. Yeah, that's dope.
Dope.
It is a dope thing. The other thing I want to talk about is later. You know, this is for the fans for all the history things that they want to know. I want to talk about the Killmatic era, right? Okay. Because you know we went through everything we went through, and actually, you know what? Hold on. Even before Killmatic, here's a thought I had, and I kind of touched upon this last episode. I feel like at some point you would agree with this. Did we fuck up our own path with trying to stay so boom bap? Like. You know,
yeah, because we didn't a lot of the success, really super duper successful indie hip hop artists found a lane or a niche, or I don't want to say gimmick.
It's not a gimmick,
in a way, but
niche is good.
A niche that they delved into, like an identity, right? We didn't really have like we were like Beat Nuts, and no disrespect to Beat Nuts, I'm just saying, but we were just like, we want to make
straight hip hop,
fun hip hop,
yeah.
And with really no identity, just raw hip hop, boom bap, jazzy, whatever we started out with. And we didn't really go in a lane. It was just like, we'll give you raw hip hop.
Right. Like, for example, you had JMT, Paz was doing his thing and made a whole genius cult following. Immortal Technique
with the political stuff.
Yep. Tech Nine had his own thing.
Atmosphere with a lot of relationship stuff.
Right, like just deep, emotional, like in-depth, cerebral shit. You know, all those guys, Talib Kweli with the knowledge and all, you know, the pro-black shit and all that is dope. They those guys did these lanes and they did them properly. And I feel like that was a thing that you and I have had discussions where we felt like we fucked up because we were chasing Digging in the Crates, Organized Confusion. Beat Nuts. That was just our thing we were doing, and that was just we were too late because those guys carved out that foundation during that time, during the 90s. But us, we're showing up with a late pass, trying to do what they're doing.
Trying to do that, And
right.
It was just not to diss ourselves, not to say we weren't generic at all, but we were just kind of generic in the sense that we were just making boom bap hip hop with no real identity about it.
Well, you know, I'm on the outside listening to the music, and the sound changed from the 90s to the 2000s. You stayed with the 90s boom bap.
Right.
But the sound changed. We had 50 Cent, the beats were changing, the style was. So the question is, did boom bap leave you behind a little bit because these other artists' sounds changed and they evolved?
Yeah, that's what I'm basically saying, you know, because like I said, those other groups that we mentioned, they found a lane to go in that evolved, and we just kind of we were chasing we were chasing the magic of trying to make another purple tape.
Yeah, digging in the crates. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
We were trying to just recreate that. So, I think it's a bittersweet point of we love what we did, we love our discography. But it's one of those things like hindsight is 2020. If we could go back and do it all over again, we would probably have changed up our whole shit.
Yeah, and found a lane. Like,
Right. Do you remember there was a time? So here's a funny twist because I now have faith. Right. I consider myself a Christian now. Mm-hmm. Okay. But do you remember there was a time, and whatever for anybody who thinks anything about this? Do you know where I'm going with this? Me and you were discussing things about getting money. And we were thinking about becoming like Christian rappers. Oh, like born again Christian rappers.
I want to hear this
scheming.
album. I want to hear this shit.
We were scheming because who did we know who blew up as a Christian rapper and was really successful? Was it not Benefit, was it?
Mace?
No.
Who?
Benefit or
nah.
It was somebody like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like somebody we knew from the underground blew up as a Christian. Braille, yes.
Yeah, Braille.
It was Braille. And we were like, yo, we got to get over in the real Christian lane and get that support.
Right, but we weren't real Christians at the time.
No.
But we were like, yo, it'll since we said all this like this evil stuff, we can use that as like
we could be like, we're born again.
Right.
We're born again. And it's crazy because I feel really guilty and crazy saying that now.
And it's funny.
But hey, it's part of the history, and there's a lesson somewhere in that, right?
Right.
But it's funny that's what we were thinking that we had to do. We just saw money
Just
signs
trying
in eyes.
grasping at straws. Like,
so we carried on, and we reformed Demigodz a few times, right? Because we know the history. I'm going to have Open Mike on the show. Open Mike created Demigodz, brought me in. I brought Celph in. We formulated a version of Demigodz, and then we fine-tuned Demigodz to where it got to be a 6-man group. It got to be me and Celph, Ryu and Esoteric, Motive and Blackistan, and rest in peace to Blackistan. And so when we were working on the Killmatic album, I feel like we really hit something special, man.
Yeah.
That album came with a lot more strife than people realize. We suffered lawsuits. We suffered all types of stuff because of sample stuff.
And it also took 5 years to come out.
Demigodz album took 5 years. I don't know if you guys fucking know that shit. Demigodz album took forever.
We did like Demigodz is back in 2007.
Yeah, what year was whatever year the first year the Transformer movies came out? That
was 06.
Really?
Yeah, that the Transformers came out.
Then that's when I wrote that.
Yep.
That's when I wrote 2007. It was 07.
It was 07? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So 2007 is when I wrote that. And that was originally, do you remember the beat?
It was a Shuko beat, right?
Right. It was a Shuko beat sampling Queen, flipping Bohemian Rhapsody in a really ill way.
Right.
We wanted to use it. So we contacted Shuko, who was the homie. Mm-hmm. And Shuko was like, who was managing him? Was it JJ?
I don't know. No. I don't know. But
anyway.
He's from Germany, Shuko.
Yeah, but somebody we were down with managed him.
Okay.
Anyway.
And for those that don't know, Shuko is a legendary underground. He did Army of the Pharaoh's Battle Cry and a lot of the classic. Yeah.
Legendary, amazing producer.
Yep.
And Shuko was like, Cypress Hill picked that beat. And I'm like, oh, no fucking way.
Yeah.
So I had to just remix it. So that's when I threw on what I threw on there and, eventually got us in trouble. But we loved what we were doing, and we had the most fun on that album. There was memories I had, and I just want to pay respect to Blackistan by saying this. What was the joint with me and Blackistan and Eternia? You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. Can't fool me. That beat was created. Here's a little, people like these little history joints. That beat was created. Blackistan and I wanted a turntable to sample off of, right? So we're right here in New London, Connecticut, and we saw a guy who was selling Technique 1200s online. It was this dude who was part of some motorcycle club. We pulled up on this guy, and he used to be part of a b-boy crew back in the 80s. He was a breakdancer, but he had these Technique 1200s from back then because he would DJ. So we bought one of his Technique 1200s. I still got it. It's in the studio, in the other room. And so Black and I went down we went down to pick this up from him, came back to the studio, and the first thing that I threw on just to fuck around was that boom sound, and Black would bring it back like that. And then I'm like, oh my God, we're doing that. So I took the record and like sampled it like that.
Just like that.
And we were losing our minds, and that's how we started it. We started it that day, that record right there. But doing that record was fun, man, and there was a lot of crazy history. Like, what did we do for videos? We did crazy fucking videos.
Yeah, we did Demigodz is Back. We did Dead in the Middle. We did
Raiders Cap.
Raiders Cap in L.A. We did the
Worst Nightmare
DJ Premier joint.
Right here in New London.
Yep.
Right over by Burger King, that old abandoned school. Didn't you go to that school?
Which one? Edgerton?
Yeah,
Yes,
right by, yeah. We shot that video right in Edgerton School.
That's dope. I seen the video. So it was as you walking through or something inside. I seen it.
Right. So, and then what's interesting too is on the Dead in the Middle video, you see this big abandoned, creepy looking factory behind us. They renovated that shit. I thought for sure one of the reasons I wanted to put that in the video, I thought they were gonna tear that bitch down.
Which one?
The one in Norwich, the big one by the river.
In Taffville. Yeah.
Correct.
I forget the name of it, but yeah.
Was that like a steel mill or something? What was it?
It was some type of textile mill,
It
whatever
was.
the fuck it was. It was right on the river because it was powered by that and all that.
And now it's homes.
It's fucking beautiful too. They killed it with the renovation.
Mills, the mills or something.
Yeah, some whatever that name is. It's like a native name. But anyway, it's really incredible to look at that video and see that. And then here's the other thing too. Do you remember? I know you remember this, but when we did Raiders Cap, I was like fucking 195 pounds because right before that, we went to Australia. I got sick. I got food poisoning or something. We went for an 8-day tour, and 7 out of those 10 days, I was in the hospital.
Yeah, you did one show. You did Sydney, struggling, like in pain.
And struggling in pain. Do you remember how flush white I was?
Yeah. And then you went to the hospital. I had to finish the tour by myself.
We had to get on a flight. We got on the flight, and by the time I got there, the dude was like, yo, you were ghost white. You look like you were going to die. We had to get you to the emergency room.
Was that the precursor to how you discovered?
No, that was, I'd already had the pancreatitis shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was post-pancreatitis.
All right.
So, wait a minute, does that time?
Nah. I don't think you knew about the pancreatitis yet. That was...
Because what year was that?
2012.
So 2012, January, is when we shot the Raiders Cap that late?
Yeah.
Because 2012...
Demigodz Killmatic didn't come out till March 2013.
Oh, okay, forget it then. Then it already definitely, because my pancreatitis happened in January 2012. For anybody who doesn't know, I had pancreatitis in 2012, and I came this close to dying. I was in critical condition. And we shot that. We flew back from Australia, and I had lost all my fucking weight. Like, if you watch the video, I'm like crackhead skinny in the fucking video. And I remember, like, we had to stop in between scenes so I could go sit in Ryu's Jeep and with the air conditioner on because I was so fatigued.
That's wild.
It felt bad being that skinny, bro. It felt crazy. But that was a dope time, man. Working with Black on that time, during that time period was really incredible.
Yeah, man.
You know what I realized? I can't remember how I met Black. We tried to think about it one time. We didn't even remember how we met each other.
I just know I first met him when we were working on the post-production for the 1990 Now album.
Okay.
I came up here and we did like post-production on it. And that was my first time chilling with him.
Yeah.
And that was 2010, early 2010.
Right. I met him way before that.
Yeah, right.
Way before that, but we just don't remember how we met or how we were introduced. But I try telling people, and I know you can back me up on this, Blackistan was the fucking nicest, friendliest, happiest, funniest fucking dude you would ever meet in your life.
For sure.
It was like nonstop good energy.
Yeah, and for that reason, when I had my 1990 Now Australian tour, remember I took him with me because I was like, man, who else better to bring as a hype man and just to come with me and have that experience.
Right.
That's dope.
That's dope that he did that, man. Really dope. So anyway, Peace out for now. We'll see you guys next week. Self-titles in the building, and Al Mayo's in the building. And we the fuck up out of here. The Shorecast. Peace.
See you on a rebound. Peace out.